Welcome, everyone. This is a Modernize or Die podcast, episode 239 on August 19th, 2025. My name is Daniel Garcia. I am a senior developer at Ortus Solutions. I am joined by
Jacob Beers, also a senior developer at Ortus Solutions.
How you doing, Jacob?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
I had a rough morning. I'm going to be honest. I'm knocking stuff over. Things are crashing around. Couldn't find cables. It's been a mess, but I'm better now. You know why?
Why is that?
Because I'm here with you hanging out and we're doing this podcast, the Modernize or Die podcast. So
that makes me feel good too.
Oh, it should. It should. Because I'm here, I'm ready, I'm feeling good, and let's go. Let's start off with Ortus news. And so a big one is we've got a CBWire. We've got a step-by-step look at reactive UI components for BoxLang and modern CFML developers. And so if you want to check that out, we just talk about all the coolness that's in CBWire, and something else we're going to be talking about a little bit later is a workshop, a CBWire workshop in Vegas around the time of CF Summit. But if you want to get kind of a sneak peek on some of that, go check out that blog. It's going to tell you about, how the different pieces and components of CBWire. And if you don't know what CBWire is, go check it out. Should we tell them what CBWire is? Or should we just have them go look at it? Well, do you want to tell them what CBWire is?
Tantalize them with... Absolutely, yeah. So CBWire is it's a UI library that allows you to write your user interface on the ColdFusion side, and then it gets streamed over to the client and allows you to basically be able to write everything in ColdFusion, but then deliver a browser-based experience. It's very awesome, and every time I haven't gotten to use it in a professional project yet, but every time I've done the tutorial or done something personal, I've always been blown away by how cool it is.
It's very cool. And Grant Copley, one of our Ortus buds, workers, peeps, whatever adjective you want to use.
All of the above.
Is the architect behind CBWire and has done an awesome job, and he'll be in there in Vegas with Luis doing this workshop on September 24th to 25th. So again, we're going to talk about it a little bit, but wanted just to give that shout out. Next up, we're got a blog article about TestBox and what's coming. And so some of the things we've got coming up in the, first of all, TestBox has got over 3.5 million installations and counting, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. And it's been around for, I don't know, how many years. Version 7 is coming in 2025. So what's new? Full BoxLang compatibility. You can do all your specs in BoxLang or mix it with CFML. We got some new language keys in your BoxJSON. We've got some other features and tools, dynamic assertions, BoxLang runner. Really just kind of cleaning it all up. And I believe there's a smarter ID integration. I hear there's native support for the VS Code Test Explorer. Is that true?
Yeah, there is. That's something that Luis has been working on, and it looks pretty great.
That is awesome. So what would that mean then? Just when you're working on your project, because obviously you're using the VS Code extension, BoxLang extension, right? Or is this a separate extension?
This is actually a separate extension. So we have one for BoxLang, but then we also have a special one for TestBox. And the thing that's really great about this is that you can use it across multiple technologies like Adobe, Lucy, things like that. But you also get very tight integration into the VS Code editor experience where you can click buttons to run tests automatically. You get output and metrics in your test results panel. That's pretty sophisticated.
And then coming soon in TestBox 7X, official BoxLang module, BX TestBox, code coverage for BoxLang, async testing support, data providers, lots and lots of stuff, including compatibility with Adobe CF 2023 Plus. So that's definitely some exciting news for TestBox. I know it's one of those things that the people that love it absolutely love it, and the people that don't love it maybe don't really know what it is or use it the way they should. But you should, because testing is important.
Yep.
You should disagree.
Yep. If you don't love it, that's your problem.
If you don't love it, that's your problem. I think we need a sticker for that one, Jacob. Let's talk to the marketing team on that one.
Let's do it.
So coming up, along with TestBox, we've got the CommandBox state and what's coming up next. So do you know how long CommandBox has been out, Jacob?
Who should I guess?
Or you can look at the blog article. But
I'm going to cheat. Open book. Actually, I can't find it. 8 years.
12 years. It's been 12 years on the market. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. That is.
It's almost a teenager. Let me get this.
Almost. Hope it doesn't rebel.
Oh, I'm sure Brad's got it firmly in hand if it ever were to do that. So CommandBox by the numbers, 12 years in the market, 47 total releases, 765 pull requests. Of that, core had 339, modules 184, and docs 242. I think I've got one or two in there somewhere. Only one or two, but
Nice.
still, I'm on the team. It's active and growing. CommandBox powers the CFML world. 1.2 million Adobe CF installs, 1.6 million Lucy installs, 8,000 BoxLang installs, which is pretty crazy considering BoxLang just officially launched a few months ago. So the CommandBox based Docker image has 1.8 million polls. Now, what is the CommandBox Docker image? I know you use this a lot as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, the CommandBox based Docker image is my favorite way to deploy ColdFusion, hands down. So for those of you who don't know, Ortus hasn't officially supported a Docker image that has CommandBox installed right out of the box, and it also has a lot of really great configuration to make it easy to deploy a server out to any cloud provider, or if you have like a Docker Swarm or Portainer set up, if you wanted to do that. So I highly recommend going out to Docker Hub and looking up Ortus Solutions there, and you can see all of the great features we offer.
If you happen to be in DC, Washington, DC this year at our workshop, you would have saw some of that. So also just really quick, Docker CommandBox supports a bunch of different versions of CF engines, all the way from Java 11 through Java 24. And so just some quick highlights. What's new in 6.1? The server Lucy deploy for Lucy servers, WebSocket support with SocketBox, a bunch of different library updates. And in 6.2, they've got things like Jakarta serverless support, compatible with 25, Lucy 7, and BoxLang, support for some namespaces, server warm-up URLs. I'm surprised we didn't have this before, to be honest. Server warm-up URLs, define one or more URLs to hit on server startup. Server start, once the server's up and running, have a URL to hit. And that is extremely useful because a lot of times you need to initialize your application somehow by hitting a certain endpoint or building a cache or doing whatever. Well, this will allow you to do all that. And so yeah, so coming up next, full BoxLang integration, a Windows Service Manager, more caching, more goodness. But go check out that the blog post; you'll see it. And so at this time, I like to take a moment and give a shout out to Daniel. I'm going to mispronounce his name. I met him a few times, and I feel really dumb. Daniel Mejia. I always refer to him as Other Daniel, but I'm sorry, buddy. I should know how to pronounce your name, and I don't. Daniel, how about that? Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so this episode is sponsored by, we kind of talked about this already, CBWire. BoxLang and CBWire is the perfect stack for modern reactive development. So anyway, you're ready to level it up. We've got a 2-day CBWire workshop right after the CF Summit 2025, led by creators Grant Copley and Luis Mahano. There are still a few spots available, but I think they are filling up. If you want to learn more and register, we'll get the link out there to you. Okay, so Jacob, what's new in the world of BoxLang?
Well, we've got some pretty cool things to announce today. We've got a blog post about modernizing your projects without limits. This is about a new Pioneer license that we're offering so that people who are part of the community and want to be a part of our vision for BoxLang can get involved that way. It's a very, one thing I love about BoxLang and what we're doing at Ortus is that we have a very, what I think is a very fair license. And we also try to keep all of the contractual parts of that, above the table so that it's easy to understand what you're agreeing to and what you're getting out of it. And so this article kind of goes over some of those things and helps you to make an informed decision about partnering with us.
And this is similar to a regular license, but I think one of the coolest things is the dedicated migration support at no extra cost. I think it's very, very compelling. And yeah, so go check that out. We've got some new modules coming out. New libraries, BX Redis, BX PDF, BX Plus, BX FS, the BoxLang admin beta scheduled for winter of 2025. And spring of 2026, we're already talking version 2.0 betas. So ain't no rest for the weary. Is that how the song goes?
Pretty close.
Or is it ain't no rest for the wicked? I don't know. My son would know. Okay, so moving along with that. So next up, we've got deploying BoxLang in the cloud video series. We have 3 videos up right now. And if you ever wanted to try and deploy BoxLang in the cloud, this is a great way to get started. So you'll learn how to do BoxLang mini server for Windows, Ubuntu, Red Hat, BoxLang with CommandBox for Windows, Ubuntu, and Red Hat. That's what the entire series will cover. Exploring multiple deployment methods. For me, you can do mini server and there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm a CommandBox person.
Yeah,
I love
CommandBox all the way.
CommandBox is awesome. And if you're going to take the time to learn how to do this, I would just go straight to the awesomeness. You can use mini servers, nothing wrong with mini server, but CommandBox is really awesome.
Agreed.
And so, of course, if you want to watch those, you can go to the BoxLang Academy or CFCast, but the entire series will be available for free on both. So go ahead and check that out. And then going up to the BoxLang community, our buddy Raymond Camden, he's got a couple of posts. You want to talk about that, Jacob, or do you want me to?
Yeah, sure. As always, Raymond is setting a very, very quick pace of putting out articles that have a lot of great information in them. So he's got 2 for us this week. One of them is about URL rewriting with the BoxLang mini server. This is a gotcha for a lot of people who are coming from CommandBox and want to experiment with just the mini server itself. And sometimes it's a little bit surprising all the things that CommandBox does for you off the bat. So this kind of shows you how to set up URL rewrites, which are usually done for you through CommandBox with some sensible defaults. But this shows you how to set that up when you're using the BoxLang mini server, which can be a little bit tricky if you haven't done it before. So definitely check out that article if you're interested there. And then we've also got a string bind article.
I didn't know
which
that
is
this
pretty,
was a thing, actually, until I read it.
I didn't either. It's interesting though. It looks like a kind of an interesting way to maybe handle templating if you don't want to use a full template file for it, or if you want something more dynamic. So yeah, that's pretty interesting.
So if you want to go check those out, yeah, I'm reading it. I'm like, I had no idea that was supported in other languages either. Yeah. That's not just a BoxLang thing, right? That's I may need to read the article again, but definitely check that out.
Yep.
And I think that rounds out what's going on in Ortus world and BoxLang land. And so let's go to the CFML updates. So first off, we got our buddy Pete Freitag. If you don't know who Pete Freitag is, go find him at petefreitag.com. His company's Foundeo. If you want to be scared and keep awake at night, go check out his any of his presentations at any ColdFusion conference anywhere. He does a lot of security related things, and it's definitely worth watching. Here, he's got a blog post about generating 6-digit security codes in Java or CFML. And with that, he's using the Java functions, I believe, the Java security secure random object. Kind of talks about how if you want to do something a little bit more secure, that this is a good way of doing it. I don't want to dive too much into it. Anything Pete does, I highly recommend checking out. He's also the person that does Hack My CF, FuseGuard, and lots of other great things for the community, and cfdocs.org. I think he is the person that kind of initially put that together for the community.
Yeah, a lot of great projects that help a lot of people.
Pete's a good guy. And then next, our buddy Ben Nadell. Do you want to talk about this one?
Oh, I was afraid you would say that. But yeah, I'll take a stab at it. No, I think this is a great article. It's a little bit controversial if you like to argue about pedantic things like programming patterns and things like that. But Ben Nadell is exploring some different functional patterns that you can do in ColdFusion, and one of those is about the usage of the filter function when working with arrays. And so he wrote a kind of an interesting article where he explores using the filter function for more than just filtering, but actually modifying and mutating the data that you're looking at. It was a really great article. The comments are very entertaining, as you may expect whenever something gets brought up like that on the internet. So definitely go check that out and decide which side of the fence you land on with that argument.
So, I didn't even look at the comments. I was just looking at the meat of it, the article itself. Oh, there's one from Adam Cameron. I think you're missing the whole use the right tool for the job concept. I haven't seen Adam in a while. I'm going to have to go through these later and read through them. I should have done that. I was busy doing other things.
Yeah, I will say I actually sat down and I read through all of the comments, all of them, in preparation for this meeting. And I actually thought that there was a really great reasoned discussion that kind of explains why you would choose to use the filter function for only filtering. And so I think that if you're interested in that theory and the practical reasons about why you may or may not do that, I think it's a great read. So definitely go through that and look at the different perspectives.
Moving right along, there's some big news out in AI land. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. We've got a couple of interesting things from OpenAI this past week. I think most people have probably heard of these things at least a little bit by now, but OpenAI has announced ChatGPT 5, which, speaking of internet drama, was, of course, a very dramatic launch as well. So the interesting thing there is that if you're using ChatGPT, if you're using, like, say, the Box API module or things like that, you'll need to make sure that it doesn't change its answers too much if you're using that for anything important compared to older models. So check out their blog post there. And then the other piece of news that we have from them, which I personally think is maybe a little bit more exciting, is that they recently released some open source models that you can download and run locally that are versions of their Premiere models that they've packaged up and released to the community for free. And they're calling those GPT-OSS. So you can go and check that out and maybe even have your very own ChatGPT pet running locally.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun little project for somebody with too much time on their hands, Jacob. Well, you don't have too much time, so.
That's all right. I'll make time.
Nice. Yeah, speaking of the controversy, I got a kick out of this. So I actually use ChatGPT and Claude when I'm doing stuff, both personally and side stuff and a little bit here and there. And I like them. I like Claude for development stuff. Like, say, if I have to work on a PowerShell script that, I'm not as, keen on PowerShell, but Claude comes right through and gives me good stuff, and it gets me there far enough where I can take it, work with it, and get what I need. So I appreciate it. And then ChatGPT has been great for just like things in general. And there's a lot of blowback controversy because when they released GPT-5, they went and I believe they got rid of GPT-4, which upset a lot of people, like not just from a technical level, but like an emotional level. Like they're emotionally invested in GPT-4 and we're like very, very upset. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I suppose in one instance, if you're a company and you've got a fan base that's connected so much, that's great. But on the other hand, if you've got people that are just that connected to something like this, that maybe that could be worrisome. I don't know. Thoughts?
Well, I think, the way that I've heard it kind of summed up is that ChatGPT 4 was very affirming and it was very much a cheerleader for you. Like, you're getting to the heart of the discussion. What an interesting insight kind of thing. And ChatGPT 5 is a little bit more like, here's the answer. What else do you want me to say? And so I can understand some of the tone of that, but you're right. It's a tool and we need to learn how to use it appropriately. So.
Yep. It's completely fair if you're like, oh, GPT-4 gave me better answers from a technical aspect. Oh, that's completely fair. But just to, GPT-4 made me feel better. It's like, well, okay. That's not saying that's not fair, but it was just interesting. I was not expecting to read that when I saw the news. Okay, that's rounding out the world of CFML. So now let's go through some events coming up. And in case you missed it, we've got a Build a BoxLang app webinar with Raymond Camden, that guy. This was done, I want to say last month, the July webinar, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
But the August webinar, which will be tomorrow, is leveling up your async game with BoxLang with our own John Clausen. That'll be August 20th, which is tomorrow. I don't know why I had to look at the calendar. 11 a.m. Chicago time, Central time. Free tickets available to register. It's always free, but you need to register to make sure that you get in to where you get into the actual webinar.
I'm really excited about this talk. I think that our async tools in BoxLang are top notch. I've been getting to use them a little bit more extensively lately, and I've been so impressed by everything that I come across with them. And I know that John Clausen has put in a lot of work into leveraging virtual threads to make async processes more performant. And I don't even know all the things that he's done. Not that he hasn't told me, I just didn't understand it. But I'm really looking forward to hearing him go into more detail about those things.
Nice. This next event was kind of cool. I had heard rumblings about it, but I hadn't really looked at it. The JJUG Night Seminar, BoxLang, a New Dynamic JVM Language, is this week. And you know what JJUG stands for?
I don't. Please tell me.
It's right in the notes. Read the notes. This is the Japan Java User Group. Join us for an in-person Japan Java User Group Night Seminar featuring our very own Luis Mahano, creator of BoxLang. It's going to introduce BoxLang, a new dynamic language for the JVM, built for developer productivity, flexibility, and innovation. So what's really cool about this is BoxLang. So we've been going out with BoxLang to the Java world, and we've been doing a lot of presentations. I say we, I mean the royal we, Luis, mostly. But it's been going out to all these different Java groups and it's been presenting on BoxLang. We've got a pretty positive reception on that.
Yeah, we have.
Which is cool. And I'm like, Luis is here. Luis is there. Where else is he? Where in the world is Luis Mahano? It's Carmen San Diego reference.
Yeah, right.
For anyone that grew up in the 80s like me. So it's really awesome to see him just like popping up all over the place with these JVM conferences. Next, I'm going to have you talk about this next item.
All right. Adobe ColdFusion Summit 2025 plus CBWire Workshop. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it extra on a personal note because I will get to attend ColdFusion Summit 2025 as a speaker. So I'm really excited about that. But also, Grant Copley will be attending as a speaker. He's giving a talk on um, managing legacy code. And I'll be honest with you, I caught little bits of that talk at ITB last year, and it changed my life. Yeah, it was really fantastic. I probably need to tell him that because it was so great, but I've referenced it probably 5 times with customers since that talk. Definitely check that out if you're going to CF Summit 2025 because it's fantastic.
What are you
And
presenting
then
on,
after
Jacob?
that, I'll be presenting on 20 tips for using Git, the cleverly named Get Smarter talk. So definitely come and check that out. And I'd be happy to tell you some of the things I've been learning about Git, which will hopefully be helpful to you as well.
Nice. They both sound like great talks. I'm sorry I'm going to miss it this year.
Oh, yeah.
I was not
me too.
able to work it out. But maybe you can give those talks next year too at ITB.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
That'd be awesome.
And speaking of ITB 2026 is now out with the call for speakers is open. If you haven't yet, please go to the site and start submitting topics because you know you want to come to ITB 2026 and you know you want to be a presenter. So the call for speakers, if you want to go ahead and start doing that, I think, Jacob, you're the first person to submit internally, if I'm not mistaken.
I am the first and currently only person
Really?
to submit internally. Yeah. So, Daniel, what are you doing? You need to go submit some talks.
I know. I've been busy, man, doing stuff, podcast stuff and client stuff, and that's no excuse. It's not like I'd be preparing for Summit or anything. I should have time in my hands, but I will get on there. I don't know if I'm going to put up for a workshop again or not, but that was a lot of work last year. And the
workshops were a lot of work.
They're fun, and I really enjoyed working with you on the workshop this year. Okay, next up, we've got the ITB video series is now live on CFCast. This is for online and on-site ticket holders. You should have free access. If you do not, please reach out. Patreons get free access to the series as a token of appreciation for your ongoing support to our mission of modernizing software development. And if you haven't been there or aren't a Patreon, series is available for purchase for just $250 on demand, lifetime access. Or if you're a regular CF subscriber, it's going to be released, I believe, on November 1st. So if you can't wait that long, you've got some ways of getting it. But go ahead and check that out. Now, I will say that any of the BoxLang presentations or videos, I believe, are free on both platforms. I know definitely on the BoxLang Academy. So if there are some BoxLang sessions, then you didn't go and you don't have access to it, you can still go see those. Also, we've got our CF Camp slides and recordings up on our own Ortus channel, our YouTube channel, and you can just watch some of the different videos. Finally, we've got Inside the Box series are now up and live on CFcast and soon to be released on BoxLang Academy and YouTube to watch for free and on demand. These were recorded live at Into the Box 2025. Oh, really? I didn't see this part. I think Maho added something. And so I actually did a lot of interviews with people. And I'm wondering if these are my interviews when I was Into the Box. Exclusive interview series captures great conversations with speakers, sponsors, and special guests as they share their stories, technical insights, and honest perspectives on BoxLang. What do you want to bet, Jacob, that they crop me out of everything?
I doubt it.
Check that out. Cool. Well, that kind of made my day. I know I'll be doing in the background while I'm working this afternoon. Be playing these interviews and seeing how they came out. Anyway, it's about that time, Jacob. So we want to say a big thank you to all our Patreon supporters. These are the individuals personally supporting our open source initiatives to ensure great toolings like CommandBox, ForgeBox, CodeBox, ContentBox, TestBox, and all the other boxes, including BoxLang. Contributions fund the cloud infrastructure our community relies on, ForgeBox package management, and you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Ortus Solutions. Now, tell us, Jacob, what do you have annual memberships? What do they get? What do they get for memberships in general?
When you get an annual membership, you pay for the year and you get saved 10%, which is pretty great. Bronze packages and up get a ForgeBox Pro and CFcast subscription as a perk for their Patreon support. All Patreon supporters have a profile badge on our community website. All Patreon supporters have their own private forum access on the community website, so you can get direct help with the challenges that you may run into. And then all Patreon supporters have their own private channel access on Box Team Slack, which is pretty great because we're very, very attentive to that. We're attentive to all of our community portals, but especially the Slack.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you ask a question and nobody responds, I can go in and do it at JBeers, and he shows up to answer all your VS Code extension questions in particular. So right now we're up to 61 patrons, I believe, which is awesome. You can see an up-to-date list of all our sponsors on the Ortus Solutions website, ortussolutions.com/about-us/sponsors. And with that, Jacob, we made it. Another episode of Modernize podcast.
We made it. Yep. That's all right. Another one in the box.
Another one in. Oh, I like that. Another one into the box. There we go. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. And we will see you all again real soon. Bye.
All right. Bye.